for indulging me. Thank you for the people that are watching it and who aren't telling me that I'm awful. But I'm really enjoying it. I've always wanted a place to kind of log my running, and I've used my blog to do that quite a bit. But a lot of my thoughts about running are really just rambling thoughts that kind of come and go. And so I'm excited to be able to use this as a way to do that. One of my biggest frustrations though, and so in last year I ran almost exclusively outside and I really enjoyed it, and it was almost like it was great because I didn't have to worry about, oh, when does the gym close, when is it open, and it was really good, and I enjoyed being out some of those coldest days. I loved it because I said if you had the right gear, it really didn't matter how cold it was. I mean, within reason. But this year, in around Thanksgiving, I got a cold that turned to bronchitis, had it for a month and a half, and I finally was able to kick it. And it was the weirdest cold. I've had pneumonia, I have bad lungs that way. I'm pneumonia prone, and it would come like it would, I'd get a fever, so I'd take a couple days off running, then I would be okay, like I'd be for all intents and purposes fine, and then I would go running again and for a couple days, and by the third day I'd had a fever again. But it wasn't enough to sort of like stop you in your tracks or like, you know, in bed for 3 days. And I was almost wishing that that would happen so we'd just get rid of it. And when I finally went to go see the walk-in, because it was I needed to know if I needed antibiotics, and I really don't like to take them, but it was to the point where I'm like, hey, something has to give. So he said, yeah, you have bronchitis. So I have been running inside since then on treadmill, which is fine, except for treadmills are a mental block for me. I get bored, honestly, on them. I've been running without my headphones, which is huge because I just was getting even bored of the music. Like I was actually counting the music, and I find that time just sort of stands still on a treadmill. And whereas outside I can run for like an hour and be like, oh, it's only been an hour, and at a quick pace. And I find on the treadmill, and I just feel like I go so slow, and I feel like I'm not doing anything. I feel like everything is like, my legs are like cement to try to get them to move. But it's been going well. I have been doing better on the treadmill. I have been completing my workouts. I enjoy doing the workouts on the treadmill. I really like that I don't have to think about what clothes I need to wear. I just wear my summer gear and it's perfect. My bag isn't full. Like I don't need a duffel bag, you know, of all the possible options for things to wear. So those are positives, but then I'm looking at my pace and I'm thinking, this is slow. Like this is like slower than slow for me. And I know that run slow is, you should be running slow. You shouldn't be running fast all the time. But the problem is that I don't really know where I'm at anymore, because my pace on the treadmill I find is so far off from what I run outside that it's getting to be a mental thing for me again. I think I just need to put the time in and not worry about the distance, and really that's why racing is important, so that you actually have an idea of time in your mind of how fast to run. And I think, you know, I'm really eager for spring so that I can get outside and run again, but just really put the time in. I mean, we haven't had clear roads since mid-November, and I just have to really keep that in the back of my head. And I may have to be doing some outdoor runs, so I have to figure out how I can do that and do that well. For me, I might have to wear a face guard, which I end up pulling off halfway through a run anyway because I don't like the feeling of it. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So running for me is truly an act of patience. It is, for me, who is a competitive person, who I'm most competitive against myself, it is like the most trying thing I've done. And I think that's maybe why I gave it up when I was in high school. I don't know, because it's something that, you know, you have to center yourself. And the crazy thing about running, for me anyway, is that I can't just give it up. I truly enjoy running. And I don't want to say like this is all like awful and I hate it and I don't like it. I really do enjoy it. And I really enjoy when I'm not thinking about running. And then I look at my pace or my time or my distance and think, whoa, I've run a long way. Or, oh, I was quick. And I don't have to think about it. I just do. And I think that's where on a treadmill, I don't just do. Where if I do, I'm worried I'm going to fall off the treadmill, to be quite honest with you. Because I drift. I'm a drifter when I run. Especially when I get into that sort of Zen state. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So I'm gonna go to the gym in about 5 minutes here. This year I will say that my muscle development is far greater than it was when I was strictly running. All over, like in terms of my upper body strength, my like I didn't think that I could have all that and be a runner, but I'm, for all intents and purposes, a short distance, like I don't do marathons. It's not my thing. It's not something that I appreciate the amount of time and effort that goes into it. Watching my brother train for Boston, I mean, you know, he was putting in 225 kilometers a week. Like that's more than I drive my car. Like, you know, so I can totally appreciate that, but it's just not me. And I think that that's important for you to know, is what is you and what isn't. Will I ever run a marathon? I'm not going to say never, because I never thought I'd race 10K and I did with my friends. So there is a chance that I may do a marathon in some time in my life. Would I want to at this? Do I see that as being a realistic possibility at this point? No, I don't. I see it as being something that would be, you know, more for fun than anything else. For me, 5K is certainly where I see myself. If we had 1-mile races here, I would do those, because I love that short distance. You know, it's done. It's kind of this like fast sort of glimpse of how fit you are. And again, it's very specific, and just like marathons are super specific. So this year really has proven that I can do that. And this year, in terms of my mileage, I mean, by Christmas I was doing 50 kilometers, just under 50 kilometers a week. Or was that just over 40? But anyway, a lot more than I had done in the past, and not even a stitch of an injury. Not even, you know, a little quiver of a calf pain or a shin pain. I mean, the only thing I noticed is that when I stopped even rolling for 5 minutes after working out, I did feel a bit. And that tells me that you need to roll, even if it's for 5 minutes. It has to happen. So, I love running. And so then I kind of go this full circle. This is how it happens on these days where I feel like I don't know what to, like I feel frustrated with my mileage. And then I think, but I love it. And so what if I put slow mileage up? Or what happens? So what if my treadmill isn't accurate? Who cares? I'm 30 minutes on the treadmill versus no minutes on the treadmill. And that means that I'm working towards my fitness, I'm working towards my goal. And honestly, the work you do in the winter pays off in the summer. And last winter, I felt that, and except for when I had the shin splints. So yeah, anyway, it's cold out today, super cold. It's minus, like it feels like minus 25. I'm not looking forward to leaving. You know what, this couch and this coffee is pretty comfy. Another reason why I'd like to get a treadmill for the house, maybe one day. But then I like going to the gym too. It's just I'm a contradiction. I'm a walking contradiction. I realize that. Like I was, but then, and then there's this side of it, and I can think of all sides and how they're all good. So, yeah. Anyway, have a great day.